first tactical replication for 2024 is Nuno Espirito Santo's Nottingham Forest. I've actually got a hat-trick of tactics for you today. I've got three versions of a kind of a 4-2-3-1, a 4-4-1-1, and trying to get the best out of Morgan Gibbs-White and the key role that he plays in this Nottingham Forest side. Now, we were expecting a little bit of a 3-5-2 or a 3-4-3 under Nuno, which we saw a lot of at his time at Wolves. However, he's gone with this sort of like 4-2-3-1, and I think it really works. There's a little bit of an issue in wide areas, like Dominguez came in for Hudson-Odoi at the weekend. They're really short of wide players, so something they'll definitely look at doing, strengthening-wise, in January. Now, I've got three versions to show you. Now, all these tactic files are available for my Patreons. 3 files for you to download and put straight in. Go check out the Patreon link in the description. I am going to go through all the player roles and team instructions and stuff, so you can copy it in yourselves. Now, we've got 3 versions. We've got Nuno 1, Nuno 2, and Nuno 3, and I think it's just based on who they're going to play. He's going to be obviously quite pragmatic, but I thought they played really well against Manchester United. They played really well against Newcastle, like breaking, so that counter-attack, that speed on the counter-attack is going to be key. So, we're going to start with Nuno 1. I'm going to explain why I've done this version and then the other versions. A lot of the team instructions are exactly the same. This is, I would say, the bog standard way that they may set up to start with. In particular, like they've got these excellent ball winners in like Yates and Dominguez and Sangare and Danilo. So obviously they're going to look to play with this sort of like double pivot. Now, I was wanting to maybe do Gibbs-White as a central midfielder on attack, but I think just as the bog standard version, we're going to go with this. And then the defensive version, I have got actually Morgan Gibbs-White playing as a central midfielder on attack. I think that role really suits him. Unfortunately, in the game, he's not as well loved as what he would be. I would love to see him at Man United, just driving through that midfield, a little bit of pace, a little bit of energy in that midfield. Sweeper keeper on defend for the goalkeeper. No player instructions. A very, very bog standard back four. No player instructions on any of them. They've obviously played Aina out there a lot, which I think is he right-footed? Yeah, he's more right-footed but strong on his left, but he's not inverting. He's just staying as an out-and-out fullback. Montiel would probably prefer to be a little, fullback on support, more of defender. So we've just gone with 2 bog-standard fullbacks on support, 2 bog-standard defenders on defenders. And maybe an argument you could probably even put Niakate and one of them on a stopper, because both of them are actually quite aggressive. But just to keep it simple, we've gone with 2 central defenders on defend. Into the middle midfield, Sangare, a player that's really struggled to get going so far this season since moving to the Premier League. One that was maybe destined for bigger things, but he's looking like he may be coming into it. He looked like he played well since Nuno's arrived, so hopefully we'll get the best out of him. And we've just gone with Anchor. Like, he's not great technically, great in the air. He scored a header for us already this season from a set piece. So, yeah, really aggressive. We're just going to have him in there. Anchor, ball winner potentially as well. With this double pivot, we've got Yates, a player that I absolutely love. Everything that you want in a team, in a sort of like down at the lower end of the table. Captain, drives the team forwards, gets about, winds people up, arrives late in the penalty area. I'm not quite sure how much we'd see that, but we've got it as a ball-winning midfielder on support because it is normally Sangare that's deeper and Yates kind of comes into this area. Sometimes maybe even acting as a box-to-box midfielder. I think that's one thing you could change with one of the other tactics that I'll show you in a minute. You could even change that on a box-to-box midfielder. And then the 2 wide players, Hudson-Odoi, inverted winger on support. Alanga, obviously winger on attack. We want him hitting that byline and hitting them low crosses. Into the attacking midfielder, Gibbs-White, attacking midfielder on attack, with the player instructions of take more risks, dribble more, shoot more often, run from position, move in shots. I just want him to do everything, basically. Maybe a little bit of an overkill, but that's what he does. He takes more risks, he dribbles, he shoots more, he runs from position, he'll often come short, he'll be in the channels, so that's why I've got all those on. And then up front, obviously Awoniyi unfortunately has been out injured, but there is a Origi that could step into there. I think with the starting, the strongest lineup, pressing forward, Awoniyi on attack suits him really well. Into the team instructions, balanced mentality, fairly wide attacking width, because we do want to encourage those wide players, Hudson-Odoi, Alanga, getting 1v1 as much as possible. Pass into space, because we want to break. We're going to be playing a little bit more direct, so passing into space, so one, you working channels, getting Gibbs right, runners, and obviously the wingers, runners as well. So playing into a little bit of space definitely will be more realistic. Slightly more direct, as I said. Higher tempo, like it's not long ball, it's just quick. How they counter and how they move. It's not punting it up to Chris Wood at the moment. They are trying to work through. They don't want to miss out the wide players. They don't want to miss out on players like Gibbs-White and stuff and Yates. So It's not pumping it up to the big guys, so that's why I've just got that on. But higher tempo to help us counter quicker. Sometimes time wasting. I haven't got that on, but I have been playing that on. So play set pieces, that will be in the tactic file download, so don't worry. Play for set pieces, like we've got the 2 centre-halves that are huge. Sangare is 6'3". Yates is 6'3". There would have been Chris Wood at the weekend as well. Niakate is 6'3". Bolly must be like, what, 6'3" as well? 6'5". You've got the deliveries from the Gibbs White, and you've also got the centre forward, which should be Wood, Awonyi, Origi, all 6 foot plus as well. So that's why I've got play for set pieces on. In transition, super basic. Like the keeper doesn't, you know, it was hard to judge what Turner was doing at the weekend, kicking-wise, against Manchester United, so I've just left that blank. I would suggest just have that as your personal preference. Counter-attacking, yes. Not a real counter-press or a regroup. I don't want it to be too defensive. I've left it quite open. And then out of possession. Mid-block, like that will change. You know, the Newcastle line was quite defensive. But then the line, if you look at the heat map, the average positions against Manchester United really compact in that middle and midfield. So you could maybe alter, but I always find a mid-block standard absolutely fine. A little bit more trigger press and get stuck in. Okay, so that is variation 1. Variation 2 is when you may be playing up against the big boys. All the playing instructions are the same. We've just tweaked it with Morgan Gibbs-White coming back into that central midfield on attack, but just the playing instructions of direct passing, take more risk, dribble more, shoot more often, run from position, tackle harder that time. All right, just so he works a little bit harder off the ball. And then up front, we have gone with a target forward. This is kind of what I based on maybe the Newcastle game. Chris Wood up there leading the line. You could obviously still, once again, change that to a pressing forward if you wanted. The third version is a little bit more like, I do think Nottingham Forest have a really good side. If they can sign maybe a couple of players, I think they maybe need to sign a couple of wingers. Couple of wingers, maybe, yeah, because Hudson-Odoi struggles with injuries. So, yeah, I'd maybe go with 2 wide players. They're so stacked in central defence, defensive midfield, full-backs, they're fine. Strikers, when Awonyi comes back, they've got Wood, they've got Origi. I think they've got it, they've won enough to stay up. So, just a couple of options in here, but I do think that they're really set up to go with a really strong 4-2-3-1. So, that's how we've set that up. All the team instructions are the same. Pressing forward on attack, the same instructions for Morgan Gibbs-White that we had in version 1. But the only little change, actually, positive mentality. And as you can see, we've done all right. Edge the XG, loads of shots. Possession, obviously not going to be a thing. Burnley 1-0, Sangare header from a set piece. But once again, really strong, you know, quite even in terms of XG, but really solid. You know, conceded. I know to be fair, we've had an easy start, and we Luton, Brighton, but the pre-season was good as well. Look at all those clean sheets, clean sheets, clean sheets, clean sheets. Now, for you guys that watch these videos regularly, would you like to see me simming the season or not at the end? I've noticed my videos drop off towards the end. People just want the tactic, but let me know quickly down in the comments. And then Luton 2-0, Alanga. We'll show you the goals before we go. Just watch here. It's passing to space, direct passing. That's all that is. It's not a long ball. It's just a brilliant quick pass. Something that I wish my Malaga boys... There was a Rabona there by Hudson-Odoi. Really nice finish from Alanga. But that is quick direct passing. And then Alanga makes it too. Like, we've got a really good rest defence here. Full-back coming in narrow. We've got Yates there. Sangare's obviously... Where is Sangare? For me, Football Manager, the anchor shouldn't be there. The anchor should not be there, but anyway... He does give and go. Alanga cuts in onto his left. Again, I've never seen Alanga so good on his left foot, but there we go. Really good win against the Luton side that, as you can see, was sat with 3 centre-halves, 2 DMs as well, 2 wing-backs, so really difficult to break down, and we dominated the game despite not having much possession. It's not a possession-based tactic, but there we go. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Check out the rest of the tactics across on the Patreon as well. Come and join 115 other people in the Patreon. Support me through 2024. That'd be amazing. If not, go copy it. Go copy the tactic and let me know how it is down in the comments. All right, guys, take care. See you later.